I'm back. I know you were waiting on me. Before I get into the topic of this video, I just wanted to go ahead and thank you guys for the. I think it's 140 views right now on my last video. Honestly, I was considering retiring, but for all you guys that sit through my videos and listen to me ramble for I don't know how much time now at this point, I figure I'll start maybe pumping out videos of quality before I decide to hang the mic up. So this is for all my loyal fans, all I think 16 of you now. So I want to talk about I've been reading Shangri-La Frontier. Yeah, I was off one day, and usually I would just like to binge watch a horrible isekai or whatever, just slop anime on my off day and forget about it a week later. But so I ended up watching Shangri-La Frontier, and it was so good. I had to start reading the manga, so I just read it from chapter one. Yeah, I reread everything. Well, I'm like halfway through right now, but yeah, it just like forced me to read it, and I'm just like flying through it, and I'm like, man, why am I enjoying this so much? Like, what is this feeling right now? Because I mean, if you think about the story, nothing like super serious is going on at all. He's not reincarnating to another world. There's not a god threatening Earth. There's not like an alien coming anytime soon. There's not an apocalypse. It's literally a guy that just loves to play video games, and not, which is really funny that I ended up picking this show up, or reading it. Well, I do. I watch and read it, but it's really funny because I enjoy reading, watching shitty animes on Crunchyroll real fast and just burn through it because I'm like, I don't have anything else to do, which made me read this story about a guy that likes playing shitty video games, and then he ends up finding a good video game that's god tier, and I feel like the same thing's happening to me. So maybe I'm a little biased right now, but I am enjoying it so much, and I think that's the point that's I'm trying to get at right now. I think that's kind of the reason I do like it, because it's sitting on the fence of being a slice of life anime, but at the same time is like action packed. Like, it's hype. It's not pure hype, but it has a gigantic amount of hype, and I guess that's what my main reason, right, is. I'm just thinking about all these other like animes I've read and mangas I've indulged in, and I had this thought flash in my head, and some of you guys are gonna hate me on this one, but it's I miss when Naruto was about ninjas. Listen to me, all right. I'm not talking about the giant meteor coming out of the sky. I'm not talking about the giant fucking monsters with 7 tails. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the feeling that Naruto has now. And when I say Naruto in the rest of this video, I'm clumping up Naruto Shippuden, and Boruto for all the people that separate the three. I don't know why you would. They're all the same story. To me, it's Naruto. So if you want to fight me on it, that's fine. But the feeling of it now it doesn't really have that feel of a story that's about ninjas, or it definitely doesn't have that feeling anymore of when you first started watching and reading it back in the day. It doesn't, that landscape is completely gone now. Like, now we have celestial, alien, android, demigod slash I don't know what's happening right now. Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even. Oh yeah, we're on Boruto Blue Vortex now. I love that for us. But it doesn't. It's not giving me that same. Everything's like world ending, we're like literally stopping, like we're already destroying universes, dimensions. uh, I kind of miss when it was about, a village of ninjas versus another village of ninjas. Yeah, I do really miss that part. uh, and don't get me wrong, I love Naruto. Naruto's goated for me. All right, it's if I ever make like a top 50 things I ever read, and I've read a lot of manga, uh, a lot. All right, it'll be probably in the top 20. Uh, Top 20. I mean, maybe not in the top 10. Definitely top 20 for sure. It's goated. I love it. And my favorite arc is, well, to my point, Sasuke retrieval arc. Way before any planet, or I know some people like to power scale Naruto up to universal, but yeah, way before any of that. That I don't know. I like the grittiness of the story, and I don't really feel like writers need to keep raising the stakes on stories, and I think it's a my my guess is like a combination of like the companies they work for, editors, the fans, maybe even the fact that they even want to, make another story, but this story that they're writing already has a bunch of attraction. And I feel like it's a beautiful blend of that pressures them to kind of like, keep moving the goalposts, which, it's cool, it's nice, it's flashy, I appreciate it, but I don't know. At a certain point, I'm like, what are we doing here? And I kind of like the breath of fresh air from Shangri-La Frontier, because bringing me to my other point is like, I don't really think in a story that has like really good writing, which I feel like Shangri-La Frontier does, where it doesn't need all the extra like garnish and all of the extra like, the world ending, like you're gonna lose your best friend type stuff, is you no one really has to die, like, and I do understand like the mechanism of death is a super important to story, and it can really like take your story from here to here. Like it's incredibly important, and that's in any story. It doesn't have to be anime, manga, it could be movies, any kind of medium of storytelling. I don't discriminate. Anime and manga just so happens to be the medium I intake storytelling. But for example, right, Jiraiya. To this day, I'm scrolling on TikTok. I see a Jiraiya edit. I'm watching the whole thing, and I'm gonna tear up a little bit. To this day, I'm a grown man. I'm I'm like almost 32 years old, and it still like pulls at my heartstrings. But I feel like in some stories they press the gas on the death, or they incorrectly like handle that tool of storytelling. Where for again, I'll use Jiraiya for pros and cons. Right, like pro is that's one of the most emotional moments in Naruto for me. Him floating down to the ocean, like that's crazy. But on the other side of that, and I'll use him as an example, is when I found out in Boruto that he came back like as a clone. But I know you're thinking like, oh no, that's a different person. Oh yeah, I get that, but it's like it's still Jiraiya, and it kind of like taints that part of the story for me. I feel like when, and I'm not saying you can't do that and bring characters back, but I feel like Naruto is guilty of killing off a character to bring him back for fan service, which I love fan service. I mean, it's called fan service, but I don't know. I feel like there's when you mishandle it, it can definitely devalue that part of the story. And on the other side of it, like stories like Attack on Titans, Death Note, Tokyo Ghoul, where they they spam that death button. They're like, no, we killing everybody. I don't care. They could be the main character. They could be whoever. I don't care. I'm off them. You'll never see them again. I'm gonna write them so well, then I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill them right after you love them. I kind of don't like that either. It just kind of brings that part of storytelling just down. I don't like it. I mean, think about Game of Thrones, right? And I'm pretty sure, like, me bringing that up, you can, like, I brought up, like, Attack on Titans, Tokyo Ghoul, and all of that. Game of Thrones is just, like, they're just spamming that death button. But I don't really like that because I think it kind of, death in the story is kind of like your right hook, you know? Like, that's your big boy. Again, it can take your story from here to here. Like, if anyone dies in Singular Frontier, that's gonna be crazy. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, but it might happen. Who knows? It might happen to like an AI or whatever. But I'm halfway through. I don't think anything like that's happened so far. But it, when that happens, like when death just becomes like another regular standard element of your story, and I think it's such a serious thing. It should be kind of handled like that. In vice versa, right? If you kill off a character and I just know that like they're gonna come back later, death doesn't really like, it takes the not the meaning out of it, but the impact, which is cool if you got confidence in your writing skills like that, and you're like, I don't really need death. All right, I'm a boss. Like, I mean, Dragon Ball Z is a good example. I mean, I love Dragon Ball Z, and they kill motherfuckers off all the time. So, like, I get it, but I feel like, I don't know, it should be treated as such. I think maybe like if you just picture like a boxer, right? And the only thing he's throwing is right hooks. And that's the only move he's using. It kind of like, it's not the best showing of ability versus like if he puts in some jabs, dodge, do a little I think it kind of mixes it up. It's just like, I don't know. I think people can do the same thing, or authors or writers can do the same thing with storytelling. It just kind of like enriches the experience and the story in general. And I think it brings me like to another element of it, right? It's like I think one of the, I'm not saying your story can't be kooky and crazy, and it can't be like have all these. I mean, nerds, right? Or whatever you want to call yourself, right? I get that, and you want to have that. I mean, just think about again, Singular Frontier. This guy is using an Apple VR headset that you can go pick up down the street for a couple $100, and now he gets teleported into a just super hyper realistic world. And he's just like laying on his bed. I don't know how that works. We just accept it. We just accept that Harry Potter's a wizard. We we get it. I'm not saying, I hope that I'm not getting that across. Like, I don't want every story ever to be, like a rom-com or a slice of life anime. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think the thing I'm saying is like super overly serious death, gods and crazy power systems that like ultimately change the premise or the landscape of like the original foundation of your story, just to kind of, I don't know, get that wow factor going on. I think when stuff like that happens and you introduce like crazy power systems and death, and I really feel like it's almost like a form of like narrative manipulation. You're trying to force an emotion out of me instead of going the, I would say the harder route, even though it was more Disney, to kind of invoke those same emotions in that require your character to grow. I don't know. Call me a Disney kid. I don't know. Just saying. But when you introduce all those elements, right, you get rid of like another important one, right, which is escapism. And just think about all the isekai animes that's come out and that are just like super bad, but they're popular because it's just like a metaphor for all of us. Again, whatever you want to call yourself, nerd, gamer, thinker, reader, whatever you want to categorize yourself in. That's built as a metaphor for it. That's what gets us off. And it also basically invokes a connection with the story inherently. Because I'm with my people. These are what we like. We like the dungeons. We like the dragons. We like getting teleported to a different world. I mean, that's what we do. We game. We think. Philosophy. Whatever. MMOs. Whatever you want to do. But, but I feel like when you switch that foundation to, add in those planetary threats, when the story was about like a retail worker, and it was about taking out the other retail store, but now we have timeline ending magic. It kind of and there's like crazy plot twists, and you introducing all that stuff at us. It kind of like takes me out of it a little bit, kind of messes up the vibe. It's like when you have a group of friends, right, and you guys are like bantering with each other, you're riffing on each other. Every single joke someone says is a 10 out of 10, and then this guy that you forgot was in the room drops the corniest, lamest joke and just destroys the momentum. So hard to get that back. We had such a good thing going, and you messed it up. Why? Why did you do that? It was like, where'd the water gun come from? Why did you start squirting us with water? We're just doing your mama jokes. I don't know. It's super funny. But anyways, that's my little rant. Just rereading it, having a really good time. It's giving me like a really nice nostalgic feel. I don't know. I just haven't had this fun of a read in a long time. I'm kind of like having my cake and eating it too, because it gives you that like isekai feeling, because he is basically going to a different world, but he's also still just like a kid that loves games, and it's just like such a breath of fresh air. It's just been such a really nice read, and I love it because it is like pure hype, right? But it's not like Solo Leveling. Don't get me wrong. Again, I know I'm bringing up all these examples, but I love Attack on Titans. I love Tokyo Ghoul. I love all these. I love all these shows. I'm just using them as an example, and it's cause something I think they either do wrong, or it's just like the best ones I can think of that are just get the point across quicker. But anyways, I'm thinking about like Solo Leveling, where Solo Leveling is almost pure hype, no story. It's garnished with some story. The story's there, obviously, but it's look, I've read that thing almost 3 times. Okay, I love Solo Leveling. It is such a fun read, but at the same time, it gets a little corny after a while, and again, it's just hype. But I feel like with Shangri-La Frontier, I'm like activating a cheat code. I'm getting like pure story and pure hype, and I don't know, it's just really fun. I've been really enjoying it, and none of that like world ending kind of like super AI alien that actually wants to turn human into livestock and basically turn it into like the Matrix has happened yet. But I will be looking forward to posting an apology video if this video ages like milk once I get caught up. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. Glad to be back.